Good morning everyone, good morning. It is Wednesday. That's always how I remember how to spell Wednesday. Ali's coming home today and he is now home for the foreseeable, which makes me really happy because I've honestly felt like a single parent for the last, obviously not a real single parent, but a single sausage dog parent. I have to put them out for wheeze at night, I've got to feed them, I've got to walk them, got to bath them, all on my own. My heart goes out to all of the single parents out there that are doing it for real. I feel a bit jittery today, and what I'm gonna have a bit of a chat with you at the beginning of this video about the house and moving house and stuff like that, and I hope it's okay. I'm gonna try not to waffle on too much, but I always feel like if I get things off my chest first, then I can just kind of carry on. But I feel a bit jittery this morning. I'm kind of checking my phone all the time because I have requested to go and view a house. So I thought, obviously I'm documenting the entire process with you, and it would be a good point to kind of like update you and bring you up to speed on everything, because I think it's easier, and what I'm trying to do is be as open and honest with this as possible. I think I said right at the beginning, I was like, I don't want this to be like a ta-da, we're moving kind of thing. Although we'll probably still get that, because we won't want to obviously shoot ourselves in the foot when it comes to actually moving. But I'm trying to be as open and honest about this moving forward. There will be people that find that frustrating on the internet, and there will be people that probably embrace it. For me, I find it very, very difficult to like keep up appearances when there's a lot going on in the background. I am by nature an honest person, and so I never really feel like I need to hide anything. Like around the wedding, I found it so difficult because all I wanted to do was just talk and get your views on things and etc, etc. And I found it very difficult keeping everything under wraps. And then obviously when we were moving at the same time and we were trying to keep everything under wraps then, and honestly I find it really draining. So I am just being honest and talking you through, for the most part, what it is that we're doing. And like I said, people will find that frustrating, and I get it. So if you are frustrated by like moving house and the choices that people make when moving house, I would just skip this bit. I'll try and put a timestamp or something somewhere so that you can skip it. But I mentioned we went and viewed a house a few weeks ago, or months ago now, and it wasn't right. It wasn't the right house, and we didn't end up making an offer. And it was really good for us to see, because it was like the top end of our budget, and we were expecting something to be like absolutely perfect, and it just wasn't. Obviously there will be those, I think, but this just wasn't it. And it really made us sort of look at what it was that we were looking for and where we were looking for it. And so a house has been sent to us today by our property searcher friend, but also he's just so good. He sent it to us today, and I've asked to make a viewing appointment of this particular house. You're going to hear the guys working outside, and obviously I know that that's a real point of contention for a lot of people as well, that we're working on the house even though we're planning on moving it, or plan to move eventually. I'm just going to go through the points that I said in the beginning about what it is that we're doing. So we want to move house is the sort of overarching thing, is that we want to move house ideally because we just see our life in a different house. However, we don't know when that's going to be. We aren't going and viewing, because one of the things that we found was when we sold our old house, it was almost like we were sort of panicking to buy a house, because we'd sold our house and we needed to move really quickly. So we really wanted to take our time with this and make sure that this house actually is going to last us a lot longer than this one potentially has. Really look at what it is that we wanted, like in terms of how much land, outbuildings, things like that. So we're taking our time. You might not be used to this, but for us it just makes sense for the next sort of chapter in our lives. So we are continuing on with the house as it is, in what our plans were for the house. Like, we'd paid for designs for the garden, and we've paid for designs for the lower ground floor. There is nothing stopping us, when we finish the garden, to sell our house with the plans and the designs ready for the next person to just implement them. Obviously we take that off of the price of the house or whatever. We don't have to go ahead and do it. We don't have to put the money into it. We would like to, because I just feel like it's putting our legacy on this house, and I know, I just have this vision that one of you guys is going to end up living in this house, and it is just going to be so magical for me to know that the love that I poured into this house is like continuing on, like someone that lives here just loves everything that's here or whatever, I don't know. But that's just how I view things. So anyway, we are continuing, because this will only be our second house viewing. We haven't viewed any other houses, and like I said, this is going to be a long process as far as we're aware. It may also not be a long process, because if we view this house and it is the perfect house and we can make it work, we will do that. But what we're giving ourselves is a really lovely amount of time to just take it easy and make the process of buying a house as nice as possible. If you're in England, you will know that actually the process of buying a house in England is actually not very nice. It's very stressful. You can lose what you think is the house of your dreams very quickly. Chains can fall apart, and it's a process that should be really lovely, but a lot of the time it's a lot of stress, and it can be heartbreaking. We lost one house that was heartbreaking for us, and we offered on another house, and then we found this one, but initially. And so what we're trying to do is make the process as stress-free as humanly possible for us by giving ourselves a matter of time. We've looked at what our house is at the moment, and we're like, we can definitely see areas where we need something different. Our house is spectacular. I love this house so much, and we have exhausted a lot of the options that we have. I want you to know that if you can see an area of land, we have offered to buy it. Okay, we've put our cards on the table, and sometimes these things just aren't meant to be, and we completely understand that. And so we have to look at what's possible to us and where we go from that point, and also where our life is heading and the things that we value and all of those kinds of things. So with all of that in mind, that's why we've got work going on at the moment. I know that the fact that our patio was falling apart, it wasn't done well, that's going to add so much value to our home, because even now it gives me goosebumps looking at it. It looks so different and so wonderful out there. There are other bits that maybe are just for us and that we love. That's part of sort of having a home, is there will be elements that you kind of take it on the chin. Do you need to use that really beautiful material? No, but that's what you value, and it brings something to you. So not everything that we do is for the value of the house at every stage, and more than anything, we look at the value of the house, but also the enjoyment that we get from the house and doing things really nicely. So yes, it's all very personal. Buying a house, renovating a house, moving, it's all very personal. So I don't expect you all to understand why we're doing it, but what I am saying is that I'm just being as open and honest with you, and I think that that's something that should be really welcomed, because it's very difficult online to be open and honest and not feel like it's just not worth it. I don't have a choice, because it's inherently who I am. I just don't like keeping things from anyone. I find it very hard. I don't like things being kept from me. I don't like surprises. I don't like anything like that. So that's why I'm trying to do it this way. And I think it's okay for there to be room for us to be different. And so it might be interesting for you, if you maybe think outside the box, it might be interesting for you to see someone approach a house move differently to you. With that in mind, we've seen this house this morning. So I'm waiting to hear from the girls about whether we get the viewing booked. This house for us it hits every mark. Like financially, it's for the size and the location and the possibility and the land, it makes perfect sense. So I'm really hoping, and also I'm not expecting it to be perfect because it's well within our budget. So I know that it'll be something that I get to put my own stamp on, and that there'll be a bigger project in there, and which will be really exciting. And this time I'll get it right first time, because I know so much more now. You might have noticed that in my kitchen and in my living room and all of the places that we had decorated properly, the only things I change now are little tidbits and decoration bits. I'm not changing anything because I'm so happy and so comfortable with how cozy our home is. So I know that with the right planning, the right interior design team, our next house will probably be something that I can document and it be a nice experience. Not frustrating, but yes. So I'm incredibly nervous because I don't know why, but I've got a really good feeling about this. And I sent it to Ali. Ali's like, that is the best house that you have sent me so far. So yes, now it's just a waiting game, basically. It's very exciting. It is exciting for me. The next chapter, I sent the house to the girls and they were instantly like, oh my gosh, can I come with you? So yeah, but I just hope that me laying my cards on the table in this capacity, the dogs are going mad because my meeting is here. I've now got a meeting with the Nicholson's team because progress has come along loads, so I'm going to show you what's happened. But I'm going to go and calm them down because they've interrupted my train of thought. But if I'm a bit jittery in the video, I apologise. I'm currently on tea and coffee duty, and there's so many people working here at the moment that we have run out of mugs, so I'm going to have to put everything in the dishwasher. I've washed up what I can. Gonna do this round of coffees. Oh, biscuits. They always get biscuits when I do the coffees. We have, we've got biscotti. We have, some Fortnum and Mason biscuits as well. I like giving them nice biscuits. I don't know why that is, but I just like giving them nice biscuits. Oh yes, we've got lots in here. Good stuff. So I'm just about to have a catch up with the Nicholson's team about progress and stuff like that. We've just chosen the grout for the patio as well. Oh, these are chocolate chip. I'll have to save some of these for me. So I have to do 4 coffees, 2 teas. Okay, I've just been updated on the house. She's left a message with the estate agent. And so sadly nothing booked in just yet. The first 2 coffees and biscuits are a go. What are you doing? Look who's back. We're all congregating in Mr. Millen Gordon's office and he's got me a gift.
Order it. Yes.
No, I always call it your office. You got me limoncello.
No, I didn't.
No? Olive oil.
This is what was given to me.
Oh, I thought it was for me.
We share it.
Okay. We do. Oh, I think we've got this before, but a different version of it. I'm not sure. I recognise the bottle, but Ali and I are partial to a very lovely olive oil. Yes, exactly, Lumi.
This is from the vineyard.
Oh, wow. What's the vineyard?
Antinori.
Antinori.
It's the, I think this is the region, the Chianti.
Yes, yeah. Oh, wow. I'm very excited to try that.
This is a lovely gift from Panerai.
Lovely. So is Panerai Italian?
Yeah.
Ah, I didn't know that. How lovely. Oh, wow. I bought some wine. Oh, is it white as well? Or is it red?
It's red.
No. Oh, yeah, red. Sorry, we were interrupted then by a delivery guy. Something's just been delivered for the Nicholson's team. We're getting lots of deliveries, but we have some very exciting news. For the most part, other than grouting, our main terrace stonework with the Artisans of Devizes limestone will be finished today. All of the steps, apart from the steps at the back door, will all be finished. And honestly, I can't believe it. We've just hit pay on our copings, so our new beautiful tumbled copings are going to be delivered soon, and I'm going to be able to give you a tour. Ali obviously hasn't seen the pizza oven coming to fruition, so that is incredibly exciting as well. What are you doing, Barkley Boo Boo? What are you doing? There is definitely going to be a fire in this room tonight for the both of us and all of the animals, because it's very, very wet outside. It's a very cozy day. Oh my gosh, they've started putting the little archway on the pizza oven. Oh, this is just too exciting. I'll take you outside and show you, but it is very, very blustery at the moment. But what we were showing you upstairs were 2 gifts that Ali brought back from Florence. And we've got some very, very lovely olive oil, which we're both very, very into. And then some wine from a vineyard that Ali went to. And he said it was the most spectacular place. It sounds like the trip was absolutely incredible, and very excited to try this. Good morning, everyone. I was in such a rush this morning because I decided to go for a dog walk before heading to a little event that I'm going to today. Basically, I've been invited to the Ashbrook Location House, to an event with Arthur Parkinson, who's, you know, I listen to his podcast with Sarah Raven. He's basically doing a talk or something. I'm not really too sure about what's going to happen today, but it's all about like bulbs and planting your bulbs. And obviously I bought my box of bulbs to go into our flower beds, and I did that off of the back of their podcast. So it's going to be very, very interesting. It's also a place that I've always wanted to visit. As a location house, it is absolutely beautiful. Slightly different to other location houses that I've been to, but it's honestly just like the pool alone is absolutely stunning. So I'm really looking forward to meeting the lady who owns the house, and also just spending a day. I think it's going to be really, really lovely. So as much as I didn't get to speak to you when I was at home, we're in the car now and we're about 7 minutes away, and I've got Miss Grayson with me to join me on this lovely day. And the weather today is absolutely beautiful, so we've really lucked out with how lovely the day is, and I'm looking forward to getting there. So I will show you around, show you how beautiful it is, and hopefully we'll have a lovely day together. Oh wow, so gorgeous. Oh, look at this sheepy in the road. Come on, sheepy.
Proceed to the route.
Oh, poorly leg.
Oh, it's a really poorly leg.
Yes, oh my goodness.
Be careful, little man.
Hello, we have arrived and I am utterly like losing my mind. This home is so beautiful, and it's a location house, so you can obviously like rent it for shoots or events and things like that. But what I'm really loving is how much still life Josephine has in her home. All the kind of still life that I absolutely love. It is, I love the Dyson as well, strategically placed. Look at this, oh my goodness. If you want to follow Ashbrook House on Instagram, I'll link it in the description box down below. But this is my dream home. Look at this. Guys, this is just the dream. Look at these windows. Little pop of pink alongside the green. This is just amazing. And look at the views out there. Wow. Pools throwing up the wall. Oh wow, that is. Look at the pool. Oh my gosh, Carrie. That's a pool. Oh. This is so beautiful. Oh wow. Oh my goodness. Oh, it looks so good. Oh, lovely little doggy. Hello. Little smally small. This food is absolutely incredible. So I've just followed this lady on Instagram. Her Instagram is by Matilda, and everything is just stunning on her Instagram. And this food, oh, we've got new potatoes, we've got crispy skin and chicken, sourdough. Oh.
She's so sweet. She's amazing.
My new friend. Yes, you like kisses as much as Barkley likes kisses. My goodness me, all she wanted to do was just give me kisses, but she's quite respectful, so she just kind of licks the air, and then if you get close, she's like, oh, okay. Thank you. Little dum-dum.
She goes in for the snog.
You for the snog. Can you get down now? Come on now. Sauntered off on my own to explore the gardens here. So basically it was sort of a bit of a dash this morning, but I wanted to come over to Ashbrook, which is not far from where I live, and basically it's a location house, but obviously the lady lives here and loves this place, as you can tell by all of the beauty, and I wanted to come and have a look around the gardens. But you can come to events here. I think that the event today is with Arthur Parkinson and, pardon the wind, and they have the same kind of events with Willow Crosley and things like that, so you can come to events here. You can also rent it for like photo shoots, I believe events, I'm not entirely certain on that, but I wanted to come and have a quick look around, because the thing that is most fascinating about this home is obviously you're looking around. I've got my hair everywhere because it's really windy. The fact is that this is actually a new build house. I was looking at the stonework of the outside of the house and I was like, gosh, they must have just had it all repointed. No, new build house. And everything inside, from the windows, everything has been kind of like reclaimed, and I feel like this is the dream and the vision of adding character to a new build house. So they completely flattened what was here and rebuilt it from scratch. So I'm like, my mind is just blown. When she said that, I was like, my mind is just blown. But I thought I'd take you for a little gander around the garden. So these gates here are added in, reclaimed, and obviously the farmland on the back there, they've added in this beautiful, beautiful swimming pool. And it looks a lot bigger on Instagram, the pool, but it's a really nice size. It's not too imposing or anything like that. And then obviously this gorgeous oak structure, and the espalier trees around the side just adds a little bit of cover. But it's lovely as well because it's still in bloom. They've still got their verbena going really strong. But this is the house, which just looks so gorgeous. They've got vines, they've got rock climbing roses, they've got wisteria, and then this is the cut flower garden and the sort of vegetable garden. She's bought an orangery to sit at the end of this eventually, so like a little greenhouse. But she's got sweet peas in here, dahlias, cosmos. Cosmos are just my favourite. I love them. There's the little, the little what's it called? Motorised lawnmower. They've also got a lake which was put in themselves, and a little boat. Obviously, I think I'm going to have to come back here and do a little photo shoot. But look at how spectacular that is. Absolutely stunning. Making me very excited for my garden to be finished, that's for sure. This is the entranceway of Ashbrook House, and they've got this beautiful cosmos twig, and I think those are dahlias in the centerpiece in here. There was a beautiful roaring fire in here. It's just gorgeous. I would never think of a pink hallway, but it looks so beautiful. All of these beautiful accents in here. And the kitchen, we're just trying to find our coats because we're heading off somewhere, but we don't know where they've been put. This is the kitchen. Looking incredibly beautiful. I love all of the still life. And this is what Ashbrook House looks like from the outside. Absolutely stunning. I love this little shed down here, which is actually made from a fence that they took down. All sort of recycled and reused materials as well. And then they've got this cottage just here, which is where we had the event. And I've also just stolen this design because this is very similar to our estate fencing where we live. And we're having some estate railings put in. So absolutely gorgeous. I love the pink front door as well. So cute. Right, we are back from the masterclass at Ashbrook. It was so lovely and just so fascinating to go and actually like look around, because we were sat there and we were like, oh gosh, you know, when does the house date back to? She was like, oh, it's actually a new build. Like, my mind was genuinely blown because she'd been so careful, even putting in, like, honestly, you wouldn't believe the lengths. She'd even put in original like sash windows. So she'd gone for single glazing, which is fascinating because that's obviously one of the biggest things that you often find is an issue with old homes, is like keeping the heat in through single glazing windows, etc, etc. So it was fascinating, but just the methods that she'd used to add character, the colours that she'd used as well, because it wasn't your typical like country house. She'd used quite a lot of colour there as well, despite the walls being painted in I think it was like all white or something, but she painted all of the walls in sort of the same white, but then used colour. Although there was one room that was pink, so the main entrance was this kind of like quite girly pink, but she'd done it really, really beautifully. Lots of fireplaces and really natural materials used throughout, so it's fascinating. And then we had the event with Arthur Parkinson, and it was his first one. Basically, usually he does them with Sarah Raven, and he's kind of like in the background. So bless him, it was so good to see him kind of like come into his own and do his own floral arranging, which was lovely. And he has inspired me so much. So Arthur, in his design and his kind of like garden design, he really likes colour, and he doesn't necessarily mix in white if he's doing colour. I'm obviously like, I like white and touches of purple for a very typical like English country garden style. But he's really inspired me. He inspired me to really take the plunge with Cosmos. I think I will definitely be able to condense down the vegetables that I grow next year. And so I'm potentially gonna devote one of my raised beds to some cut flowers, only a small amount, I think. So he had this particular type of grass, which it wasn't called, there was rolled oak grass, and then there was another one which basically we took notes the whole day. So there's this particular grass. I'll pop it in the description box down below, the 3 things that I'm mainly going to grow next year. So Cosmos Purity, because honestly Cosmos to me are just the flower, like they are just the one, so wild and whimsical and long and springy and dramatic, and then this grass, which I'll put in the description box, which kind of softened it and gave it a bit of texture. But the other thing which I never ever thought that I would grow is sweet peas. I tried once and I was just like, why am I doing this? I don't even like how these look in vases. I know that a lot of people like them, and obviously we've all just got different tastes, but the way that he did it, the way that he cut them, rather than just taking the sweet pea off, he left a lot of the pea shoots on, so it was a lot more wild and whimsical. And I was like, you've just, in an instant, you've completely changed my perception of sweet peas, and you've inspired me because you've made it look in that sort of like wild and whimsical way. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. White sweet peas, someone suggested that I do the Jilly variety, but I want to try and find the best, obviously the best fragrance one. So sweet peas, this grass, and Cosmos are what I'm gonna try next year. I'm just gonna start off with 3. I'm not gonna overwhelm myself or anything like that. I've put in my diary when I'm supposed to sow them and things like that, so I'm all sort of ahead on that. But it was a lovely day, and I'm actually hoping to get back to Ashbrook to hopefully take some pictures one day, because it's just so beautiful. Like, she's just done such an incredible job, and it just looks so wonderful there. And it was a lovely day. This wasn't like an influencer event. It was an event that you can book onto. Obviously, you pay to book onto it, where you can do classes. They do a lot of classes with Willow Crosley. I've sadly missed the space to do their next Willow Crosley event, which I've never got to do a Willow Crosley event. I was invited to one with Ali Tex not long ago, but it was like 2 hours away, and I couldn't justify the time out of the diary to go, which was so annoying. But yeah, so keep an eye on their Instagram. I'll pop the Ashbrook House Instagram, so you can basically keep up to date with all of their events there, and see what's going on, basically, if you fancy any of those things. I have returned home, obviously, to a day of progress at the house, and we have the first amounts of grout going into the patio. So the first sort of, I would say just under a third of the main terrace has been grouted. I thought I'd give you a quick whip around and show you what has been done today. We almost have a full pizza oven. Oh my goodness, and it's looking fantastic. So we're really making progress now. I'm, fingers crossed, hoping that all of the grout will be done tomorrow, which means that our furniture can go back onto the terrace, which means that this view will actually look pretty normal, aside from the fact that there's obviously a lot of crates. But I think that they'll probably, once the patio is all down and laid, they will probably dispose of those and get rid of them and tidy it up. Obviously we don't have copings, but what we do have is wonderful. So you can see here, this is the ungrouted. Are you coming out, my little boys? Come on then, come on. So this is the ungrouted, and we went for option number 1, which is this beautiful kind of, oh, we've got puppy dog paw prints in there. It's this beautiful warm beigey toned, which really, oh, there's lots of wind, really picks out the warmer tones of the floor and also the tones of the windowsill. So we wanted to pick that out, but we also wanted to make this feel, what are you eating, Barkley? Off, thank you. But as you can see in this area, things are particularly, well, it's almost finished. We have steps, like almost finished steps. And I think what I'm gonna do is wait and slot in a little walk around, I think, because it's just too blustery and I don't think you're going to be able to hear me. So yes, we're on the sort of cusp of a bit of a storm, but yeah. The one thing I am going to do though is I'm going to head out and harvest. I've got a couple of pumpkins. My pumpkins didn't do as well as I had hoped they would do this year. We moved the pumpkin patch to the other side of the greenhouse, and I don't think it's got enough sun, / I don't think I watered them enough. And so I have a few pumpkins, but not as many as I wanted. And I've kind of created a bit of I didn't mean to do this, these are just things from the kitchen garden, but a bit of a harvest tablescape here, which has come together really quite lovely. I've obviously got some apples, we've got my tomatoes that I'm waiting for them to to ripen, and then the beautiful dried flower displays from Hello Petal. So I think I'm just gonna I'm not a huge pumpkin person and Halloween display anyway. I'm more of an autumn person, so I'm just going to get some pumpkins and kind of continue with this harvest theme, because we have some friends coming over tomorrow. We're going to head to a pub locally for lunch, and then come back for like dog walks and a bit of an evening by the fire. I think it's all lovely and clean and zhuzhed at the moment, so it's all feeling very, very lovely in here, I have to admit. Very nice. Okay, it's not quite so windy now, and I'm about to cook dinner, so I thought I'd quickly show you outside where we're at. So the last kind of place without patio is down here on the lower terrace. The steps are going in really excitingly, and yeah, next thing to happen is for these railings to be taken down, the new copings to go on here as well, and then oak balustrades to be fitted onto here. The pizza oven is looking so fantastic. I can't really show you it in full view, so I'll try and show you tomorrow, but it is coming to life beautifully. All of this is going to be used to even out. We're hiring up the grass area this much, so quite a lot. We're going to be losing these sleepers and just creating a normal bed in front of the terrace. Obviously we've started looking at where our lights are going to go. These are our oak post lights. We've actually gone super big with these, but they're going to be cut down to about there-ish and then chamfered off really nicely. Obviously this will sit in the centre. We've just hung it on a hook for the moment just to try out the light switch, but these are the beautiful Rosara lights from Nicholson's, and they give a really nice amount of light. We've got lots of them going in, and we really wanted them to be at this kind of knee level height as well. But yes, lots kind of happening out here and coming together, but I think, like I said, we should have the terrace back, fingers crossed, tomorrow. And I just wonder when we're going to start planting. That is going to be the biggest sort of difference. The other thing that we're looking to change up as well is this area here, because I just don't think it's particularly visually beautiful. We want to get new Sonos speakers and potentially remove these floodlights and put some lanterns on here just to decorative it up basically. But you've got to remember as well, this will have lots of lovely plants growing up it. The next area, obviously this is our sink. I've not even showed you this on here. This is our stone sink that we got from Burgess Reclamation. Oh my god, that's Daddy Longlegs. I thought that was a spider. Gave me the goosebumps. These are all of the colour tones that are going to be at the outdoor kitchen. So these are the handles, the woodwork. It's all going to be made out of really wonderful wood. And then this is our sink, our stone sink that is from Burgess Reclamation Yard, which is going to sit in our new worktop, which is incredibly exciting. They have loads of these there, and I think this would look fantastic in a kitchen. Oh my gosh, imagine this like in a beautiful rustic kitchen instead of a Belfast sink. This is exactly what I would go for. We're replacing these. Obviously our gate is in the workshop currently, which is going to go here to sausage proof our house. These are all going to be replanted, and yes, it's kind of all coming to fruition and starting to gain its structure. This will have a beautiful decorative iron detailing up here as well, just to really kind of finish it off nicely and make it more of an entranceway and also give it some height. It was very, very low before. So yes, obviously this is going to be a lovely flower bed with lots of beautiful border planting, and then we'll have our light well cover going on there, so it'll be nice and sympathetic. You won't see it so much. And the grout obviously looking so wonderful. Like all of the tones in this patio they're just beautiful. There's such a nice amount of texture. There's warmth, there's cool tones, so it's not too warm, it's not too cool. It's just got this really lovely tone to it. And as you can see, that's it without I think the colour grout that we've gone for just picks it out beautifully. Anyway, I am going to attempt my first sort of recipe from TikTok. Now, one of the things that I was really getting quite frustrated with on TikTok, because there's so much information on there, like, yeah, I would come across a lot of recipes or videos with lots of information in them, and I wouldn't be able to save them, and it would take me forever to find them again. But I follow this girl called Emily English who does really lovely, like wholesome but healthy recipes on TikTok. And I saw her do this like gnocchi, cheese, butternut squash dish. I don't know if our food shop has been delivered, so I might not actually be able to do it. Our food shop has not been delivered yet, but perhaps I'll do that tomorrow instead. Oh no, tomorrow we've got friends over, so maybe over the weekend, but I'll link the video in the description box down below. But it's just really like parmesan, ricotta cheese, and gnocchi, and oh my gosh, it looked phenomenal. So yes, but what I am going to do instead, I think I'm going to do like a phyllo tart, because we've got puff pastry, and we've got figs, and we've got lots of mozzarella. So I think I'm going to do one of those, because it's always a bit of a crowd pleaser. So yeah, scratch that. I'm going to go for a late night harvest of some carrots from the kitchen garden, and I'm going to grab my pumpkins whilst I'm at it, because the puff pastry is not defrosted. We've got some fish and we've got some chips, so I'm going to do some roasted carrots, some peas and fish and chips, I think. Well, I've harvested some more corn and some very, very large carrots. No, Porty, no carrots for Porty. Porty loves carrots. So I'm going to wash these off, and I didn't do my pumpkins. I've actually got quite a lot of squashes, so I think I'm going to be able to have a nice little display, but nothing too sort of, I don't know, nothing like last year, just a few strategically placed ones. I think it will be lovely. Yes, Porty. You'll have the end of the carrot like you always do. Mummy always saves you a bit. I can't wait to be able to wash my vegetables in my outdoor sink, because with the house being so clean, I don't want to make it messy with muddy carrots. Good morning, everyone. It is a beautiful autumnal morning. I've seen Mr. Pheasant this morning as well. Sorry for this unflattering angle. My other sticky pad still hasn't arrived. I need to follow that up, so I apologise that you're there. It's been a rush of a morning. I've got to get Barkley to the vets this morning just for a little checkup. There's nothing really wrong with him, but I feel like I would be being a irresponsible owner if I didn't just get him checked out, because the thing with Barkley is he eats a lot of things that he shouldn't eat, and it's something that I've noticed, and I just want to make sure that, you know, if there's anything that we can do to stop that, because I just worry that one day he's going to eat something that he shouldn't, because when they're playing in the garden I can't always have my eyes on them at every second basically, and I literally find out what he's been eating after like a full day. He'll go and have like a number 2 in the garden, and there'll be like a full barcode in there, and I'm like, firstly, where have you got a barcode from? And thirdly, you shouldn't be eating that. He seems like he's very good with things that like are typically poisonous. I remember once I dropped a grape on the floor, and both of them picked up this grape and were like, no, not eating that. So yeah, I just want to make sure, because I know there's obviously the issue with pica with some dogs. I want to make sure that he's like, you know, I'm just being responsible. So they're in the back, but you sadly can't see them at the moment. It's a beautiful, beautiful sunny day today, which is just lovely. Quite autumnal and bright and beautiful. And that is how our day is starting for the most part. We had one of our crumbles last night and it was so lovely. And then I went to bed and I thoroughly enjoyed myself. What we're hoping to do today is to actually head to the Muddy Duck again. We're hoping to head there with Lauren and her husband and Beignet. Somebody already had a tinkle.
this one.
Nicholas Coleridge, CBE.
Listening to Duchess the podcast. I've actually nearly finished it now. Sorry for the floating head. So we just finished up at the vet's. No issues whatsoever. Just keeping an eye on him, and I can't believe it. So this was the first time I've ever taken Barkley into the vets. So we've just moved vets, and our old vets would never, because of COVID, but even after COVID, we've never been able to take him in. So I don't know what their behaviour is like. I don't know whether they pee on anything. Obviously Porter didn't pee on anything, but Barkley just peed, and so I wasn't prepared for it. I felt really bad. But anyway, also just to update you on the viewing of the house, I've been trying not to let it like consume my thoughts. We just kind of had to get a few ducks in order and understand like where we stood financially, because we want to do the actual like process differently this time as well. We'll probably keep our house and stay in it, and then do bits to the next house until it's ready to move in, and then we'll sell our house when we're not in the house. I don't know, I think it's probably like a safer way of doing it. I'm not sure. It costs more, but it's probably a safer way. And so we were just getting some ducks in order, but we want to go and view it on Monday. So I need to check in with Ali and see if he is on board to view on Monday. What we can do is try and maybe go to Farmhouse or something, and then head over and have a look. But yes. Well, look at what has arrived. These are the first candles from Holland Cooper, and I love the size of these. Double wick. They smell, oh my gosh, so lovely. Not too strong, but like a really lovely, deep, luxurious fragrance. I'm gonna pop this in the living room though for this evening, so we can light it and make it smell nice in there. But speaking of Holland Cooper, I have something exciting to share with you, which has been literally in talks for months, which, considering I'm also about to get ready to go, and I'm going to wear one of my Holland Cooper blazers, not the Knightsbridge one for once. This is one of their country collection blazers, and I popped it with a pair of black plain denim, my Theory boots. I really want to get some actual riding boots. I bought some from House of Brewer, and they were slightly too big on my calves, but they're so nice, and like I just like boots that fit my legs. I don't want like loose fitting boots because it's just, they're so unflattering. But anyway, back to my exciting news. It's been in talks for like literally months, and it's been something that we've been trying to like make work, and I am incredibly excited to let you know that I have joined the Holland Cooper family. As you will probably know, I really feel like there's such an incredible synergy between myself and the Holland Cooper brand, and that really is cemented through the fact that you guys love Holland Cooper just as much as I do. So I'm just really excited to share this with you, share the content with you, and just go on this journey with you. I'm very honoured that they have chosen me for this, and I'm looking forward to sort of where this goes. But this is probably, I don't know which blazer I'm going to wear today. I might wear this one, I'm not too sure. I'll link this in the description box down below, but I took a delivery of some pieces for an upcoming campaign that I've got with them. But I'll link this one down below. You know that my Knightsbridge blazer has been surgically attached to me for quite a few months now. But anyway, I've got a Ralph Lauren shirt on, quite a thick shirt, so it's nice and warm, because we're going for a country pub lunch today to the Muddy Duck. Again, we wanted to take Lauren and her husband there to experience it, because it's quite niche. The weather is all over the place, but as we speak, the rest of my patio is being grouted, so I'm hoping that when I return home, my furniture will be back in, at least on it. It might not be on in situ, so this is incredibly exciting. So I'm gonna get myself ready and good to go. But obviously I'm just really excited to share this with you, and just, yeah, I hope you're excited more than anything, and I hope that you're happy, and I hope that you're proud, because the reason I get these opportunities is because of you guys. And so this is like you guys and your support for me. This is a testament to that. And so I'm really incredibly grateful, first and foremost, for the fact that you are like there for me in that capacity, and that you're on my team basically. I'm so grateful. So yes, I'm looking forward to it. I'm just excited. I'm a little bit giddy, so getting my words out and getting it across how grateful I am, and obviously so incredibly grateful to Jade as well for working with me in this capacity. I'm very, very excited. I also have a rather large bundle of boxes that have arrived today, so I do need to get into those as well. And I did buy some headbands. This is a black one from Amazon. It's kind of like a multi-pack. It's definitely not the same quality as Clementine and Mint. I do think I'm gonna message the girl from Clementine and Mint and see if she'll do any like bespoke orders, because I'd love a classic black one with a little bit more padding than this one, but I do feel like it will do the job for now as just a hairband puller backer in black.
Oh dear. That's normal.
So there's 2 weights in Harris Tweed, and this is the heavy weight.